my boy made sure Jaws turned into a franchise. Had a part 1. He made sure that turned into part 2 and a part 3. What's up, it's your boy Cintron. Come back at you with another reaction video. And I kid you not, that's my real name. And man, let the good hands commence, as Mo Lowry always says. This one was action-packed, and the plot as well was filled with, man, so many steps descending into decadence. And man, this one was unsightly, hard to watch, made you pontificate, made you think, prognosticate, all that. But man, culminated in violence. America loves that. So we start off question here with Thorfinn seeing a nightmare, and he's seeing that scene where his father got murked at, falling off the cliff. He's got people breaking his appendages and dragging him down, falling down off that cliff, and he's haunted, man. Like, what did he see a nightmare of? Was that him remembering that he actually met Einar in the past? I'm like, bruh, I thought I said it, a couple episodes. You weren't even watching because you don't even watch though. You're not even watching though. But did they cross paths in the past, or is that just a figment of our imaginations here, or just me overlapping some false memories there? But I don't know. But man, he got some fucked up dreams. Like, God damn, man, what in the hell are you dreaming of Hades and shit? I mean, this is crazy. But yeah, like I said, he's haunted. He wanted to forget, but deep down, he knows he can't. There's something gnawing at him, gnawing at his conscience, that he can't completely forget the man that he used to be, even though he might hate it in present day. Like he said, he's empty. He said he's an empty vessel, but he's suppressing the hell out of himself, and we'll see that later. We'll get to that point later. But they're growing their crop. Their wheat is going good. I mean, I should looking all silky and green, healthy, and they're clearing the forest, and they seeing these. We're seeing these cats off in the distance. These retainers who've worked themselves to become freedmen, and they're looking down on the Slavs. Who are the Slavs? Who are not Slavs? Like, it just pure hatred, haterade. Like, why y'all hate on somebody who is lesser than y'all, and you worried about them? That's a weak man. That's a weak-minded man. Worried about somebody who's supposedly less, worse off than you. But you tracking them, following them, worry about their every move. Wouldn't you just continue to work towards success and stay on the grind and build up your little kingdom, whatever? It don't work like that. Small-minded people are worried about people that's under them, because without the people under them, they don't have any sense of feeling superior. They need somebody beneath them to feel superior, which is just crazy. I'm not competing against anybody but myself, man. That's cool. I can see your success, but we ain't the same. So I control how much I put in, how hard I work, and in that regard, how much I'm gonna get on my ROI, my return on investment. So I mean, but they just jealous, man. Like, ugh, it's just disgusting. See that on the man too. It stinks. It fucking stinks. And like, you see them hating. They see me playing. They hating. Like, what are these dudes gonna do? They up to something. They're plotting. They most likely to ruin their attempts at freedom, just for the sake of keeping somebody else down. Like, just sickening, disgusting. But he has that nightmare, and wakes up, and they're building a roof for old man OG's house, the OGG. But yeah, Einar's talking to Thorfinn. He's counseling him. I mean, he talks to Thorfinn real good. You know, like he's just makes such a good mate. Pause. You know, for him. I mean, an Australian mate, and you know, he just talking him through life because I mean, Thorfinn's so inexperienced. But he's right. He's dreaming about Ashkelad. He actually told him about what was going on, that his father got murked, and this dude Ashkelad, he followed him around 10, 11 years on the battlefield trying to get revenge, and then he actually wasn't able to get it. Ashkelad basically sacrificed himself for him to live, and he was kind of like a son to him, and like even though he took his father, which is twisted fate, but it is what it is. He no longer hates him, but he's still dreaming about it. So that means it's just unresolved. That issue is unresolved in his mind. So, talking to a dead person, you're never going to get that closure. Some, figment of your imagination. You might have some, some dreams or visions or whatever, but you're never going to have that face to face to be able to talk. And that's disturbing. That's just something that's going to bother you. Not being able to, end that personally yourself. But it leads to a convoluted, feeling. He doesn't hate the guy, but he also is the reason that his father is no longer on that plane, and that's a special kind of place to be. I don't envy him at all. But he's talking to him about it, and the OGG overhears him. He's tells him to keep y'all boys yapping too much. Keep y'all hands working. But he's like, I'm empty. I don't have nothing, man. I don't have nothing. I'm blank. And it's just like, I don't know anything about farming. All I know is war. All I know is this. But the OGG makes a good point. Like, since you are a blank canvas, it takes them out fishing, teaches them the ropes. He has a vested interest in them. Which is like lovely, since they don't have really. I mean, they can provide services for him, but status wise, they don't have anything to give him, and that's a sign of your character, how you treat people that can do nothing for you. Right. So him taking them in and just taking an interest in them and developing them, helping them to push forward, progress, just shows what a great man he is. And he teaches them how to fish, and they fail at it pretty hard, but he's saying you're actually the best kind of vessel. You're empty canvas. You can be painted on in whatever light, because you don't have any any preconceived, prepackaged. I mean, you have that war stuff and all that, PTSD and all that stuff. But since you don't know so much, you have such a capacity for vessel to be filled, because there's a lot of save data that's just left there, that hasn't ever been used. But he's teaching them, and we're having a feel good time, feel good moments, and you already know when things are too high, you gotta look for the low. It's gonna come, man. But yeah, before we get to that, he talks about him being empty, and he's like, without his hate for Ashkelad, without his hate for his circumstances, which he did contribute to by wanting to go out there and fight in the first place. When his father told him to stay his little boyish ass home, he's become empty. But what will take the place of that hate then? Or will that hate be reinvigorated and burn anew? Because it's all too easy. We'll see later in the episode when he slips back into something of that sort. But he's so lost that he doesn't even know he no longer has the face of a warrior. They're walking in the forest, on the way to the farm, and he's like, he doesn't even know that people. He's like, Einar tells him, people wouldn't even know that you're a warrior if you didn't tell them. And you're like, what? Because he just has this listless look on his face. The way Einar describes him, it's like, you don't want for anything. You don't long for anything. You don't have any ambitions, any dreams. You're just living life. You're just punching the life clock every morning, waking up, eat, sleep, and that's it, man. There's nothing going on in your world that makes you seem like anything other than a zombie. You're not alive at all. But yeah, they quickly get stop in their tracks. Einar's face is just frozen in horror, and Thorfinn's looking at him like, what's going on? And he looks and he just sees like, man, bruh, fuck. You know, I'm like, these niggas will stoop so low to do some shit like that. If you get throated, pause. You earned it, buddy. Like, why? Like I said, why would you go around with somebody who like they're not your opposition. They're not gunning for your position. I mean, they could potentially be gunning for your position if they outdo you. But then work harder again, or just work together. Like it just there's too much like working in your favor. It's a peaceful environment. You know, like you actually have a a decent G, OG, ruling over that space, and then you want to like some people just love drama. They can't separate themselves from it. They gotta have it. They don't, unless there's turmoil, chaos going on in their life, they don't feel satisfied. They don't feel funny. They can't rest unless there's unrest. Just insane, bro. But like, this what got me. Like when Einar said, like they're farmers. They should know. They know the hard work that it takes to grow crops, and like they can destroy those hands. Like that's just it's an oxymoron. Like to be farmers and commit such an act, it's literally blasphemy. To grow, nurture, and then to destroy with the same hands, like it's fucking disgusting. I can see that as a sin. Like like destroying somebody's property. Why? Like you're not even physically hurting them, but you alter their emotional state. I mean, like that's another thing. But you've taken something from them, and that's a violation. And that's why I said, they're just crazy. And there's just like Einar, he's seeing motherfucking red. All he can see is he's about to Hulk out, And Thorfinn tells him to calm down, and then he's like, "Why ain't you mad, nigga?" And he's like, "I don't even, bruh. These dudes did something deplorable. I've done something 100 times worse than that by taking lives, killing people, taking things from them, but also taking their life. You can never give that back. You can give them things back, but you can never give a person restore their life. Once that's gone, it's gone." And he's telling them like, "Why aren't you mad?" He's like, "I don't even deserve to be mad, bro." And he's like, he get mad at him, but he realizes it's true what he's saying. But at the same time, like, what you're saying, you don't have a right to anything in life just because you did bad things. You gotta walk your path of redemption, and like you can't use that as an excuse. So they decide, to go and talk to Patter, the dude who was actually a former Slav himself, not a Slav. And he said he went through something similar. Dude was just praying and acting on ensuring on his downfall just because they didn't like his status. And like nobody maybe held him down in the trenches. He was crying, just distraught. His field was destroyed as well. And so people gonna evil, bro. And it's how you respond to it. But I wonder how he got through that. How he survived and made it to his free status, and maybe found a band of brothers. Like dudes that helped him to regain his livelihood, his composure, his stay on the straight and narrow to the path to freedom. But they're gonna explain to him that But I'm like, well, anything come of this? Because I mean, like they weren't there to witness it. They know they did it, of course, but they're not gonna incriminate themselves, or like confess themselves. So, yeah, I mean, just like confrontation, yeah, but it only turned out bad for them because they are Slavs, they're not Slavs, and those are freed men, so they are in a worse social status and subject to punishment, even if they were wronged. Which is just, I mean, that's just the world we still live in. It's more fair these days, but still, it ain't fair. Look at America and all this stuff. I don't care what you say, it still ain't fair for people on the whole scale. The exceptions, they're fine with that, because it's an exception. It's not going to be the rule, even though America will be more brown than by like 2030, 2040. So, I mean, but we'll see how they try to, redirect from that path. But yeah, I mean, Pat, he also, Einar talked about, he figured out what's going on with old girl, Like he talked to her and like she can never buy her freedom like them. I'm like, damn, because I mean like it's funny. She's actually good to the OG. So because she's bound. I'm like, damn, ain't that a catch-22? Like, because he likes her, he's not gonna let her go. I mean, and then like their situation, they're hated just for being like their status, and they can just be looked down upon because she rolls downhill and they're just the next rung. But he's right. He's like, man, I feel like our life is just worth nothing. Like, it is a joke. They get on, they can't do anything about it because of their status, and the woman he wants to be with, he can't be with because she's in the same situation. But even worse, she's liked by the person who owns her. Like, just but man, bruh. They end up rolling up on them. They go down the same path, and Einer said, nah, I ain't ducking and dodging shit. I want my head up. I want to see these girls right now. And I'm like, damn, not good, but whatever. And he goes and confronts him. They talk that shit, and just like somebody throwing stuff in your face that they did, and not coming out and saying it, but in a very roundabout way, saying, yeah, what you gonna do about it? And I did it. You can't prove it, but what you gonna do about it? And the final last insult, like, doesn't even matter if you grew that wheat. It's Slavs, not Slavs, but Slavs wheat. It's grown by y'all, so it'd be preached to the taste anyway. And I'm like, oh, I never finna go out, but he cocks back a good hand. I mean, that size, like 1.5 times my fist. I'm like, he gonna get rocked. Okay, but he smirks. He's like, I'm ready to take this. He's coming in for it. It's swinging around. My boy Thorfinn comes up with the Hadouken and just knocks the fuck out of that nigga. I'm like, shit. And he's looking like he going down and shit looking like he fucked up. He fucked up. I mean, he fucked up, but his is all fucked up. I'm like, God damn. You got knocked the fuck out. Like, some smoky type shit. And man, he's like, damn, bro, that jaw is gone, bro. That's gone. You're gonna need you a new one, dog. And man, the fight goes out, but because Thorfinn blacks out. He just you boy having flashbacks of war and all this shit. He became somebody in that moment. Like I said, like that hatred, it's like I'm here if you need me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll moonlight for you any day. Moonwalk on that ass. And but he remembers that he remembers his place where where he is, and it's bad timing because he gets clocked in the back of the fucking head by a shovel. Lucky he a beast character and the main character because he would have died. Being a normal man, whatever, from that hit. But they're fighting on the battlefield. I'm like, man, all bets are off, man. They fighting. It is what it is. I'm like, they're gonna take some consequences, whatever. But we're gonna see next episode what it's gonna be. But I mean, shit. I'm ready for war. I mean, like, forget. But I'm like, y'all keep fucking around and playing with it because the preview Oath shows the next episode that Thorfinn continues his descent into madness with these visions, and they're not while he's unconscious. They're while he is awake and on that field in a battlefield, but he about to turn into one. Go around and find out. Because I mean, he's going through some deep, dark subjugation in his subconscious, in his mind. I'm like, you better pray to God that this nigga don't activate. Wake up and it's morphin' time on your stupid ass, boy. But anyway, that's where we're gonna get up out of here, man. What a riveting episode. Great action. And the plot as well. Just everything tied in so well. This was just such an exciting, exhilarating episode. I'm gonna get up out of here. But anyways, in the saga of V's, we're trying to stack V's on V's and make dubs. Like, comment, share, subscribe Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.